The list of privileges the royals have is endless because, well, they are the royals. I'm your host, Michaela, and today I'm talking about the top 10 privileges the royal family doesn't want you to know about. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoy this video, cause it really helps us out. But now let's get started with the video. Number 10. The Queen can ban humor. It was said that once Queen Elizabeth II passed away, the people of Britain were banned from being funny on public television. Seriously. BBC wasn't allowed to air anything humorous for the 12 days between her passing and her funeral. It was said previously that, in the event of the Queen's passing, BBC would immediately stop what they were doing, make the announcement of her passing, and start airing the documentaries about the Queen's life that have been pre-recorded. The station even had black suits and ties ready to be thrown on at a moment's notice. But you will never ever hear the royal family say these words. Number 9. The royal family does not have to obey legal speed limits, but only when they're driven by police on official royal duties. When the king, prime minister, and other members of the royal family are driven by police officers on official royal business, they can drive as fast or as slow as they please. According to The Sun, the Road Traffic Regulation Act gives permission for police, fire, ambulance, and other enforcement agency vehicles to break speed limits. Since the royals are always driven by police escorts while completing royal duties, their vehicles are thus exempt from following speed regulations. Number 8. Members of the royal family are exempt from paying taxes in certain instances. Though the monarch was not legally required to pay taxes, the Queen made voluntary payments on income, assets, and gains not used for official purposes, Insider previously reported. Other parts of the royal family's income, like the Prince of Wales' income from the Duchy of Cornwall, are also exempt from taxes. However, he also, quote, voluntarily pays income tax on all revenue from the estate, according to the official website. Number 7. The British monarch can't be arrested or be the subject of civil and criminal proceedings, meaning he is effectively exempt from the law. King Charles enjoys sovereign immunity, meaning he can't be prosecuted under a civil or criminal investigation. This rule also applied to the late Queen Elizabeth II. According to previous guidance on the royal family's official website, quote, although civil and criminal proceedings cannot be taken against the sovereign as a person under UK law. The Queen was careful to ensure that activities in her personal capacity were carried out in strict accordance with the law, however. Number 6. The monarch typically had 2 birthdays. According to the royal family's official website, the Queen celebrated 2 birthdays each year. Her actual birthday on April 21st and her official public birthday celebration on the second Saturday in June. Across generations, sovereign rulers have often held their public birthday celebrations on days other than their actual birthday, especially when their real birth dates fall in the autumn or winter. This is in order to increase the likelihood of good weather for the annual Trooping the Colour parade, according to the royal family website. Since King Charles's birthday is in November, he could follow his mother's lead and have a second celebration in June too, although it is yet to be confirmed. Number 5. The Queen didn't have to use a passport to travel, and this is likely also to be true for King Charles. Every passport in the United Kingdom is issued with the Queen's name. As a consequence, the Queen didn't need her own passport to travel, according to the royal family website. Following the Queen's passing, passports are likely to be altered to reflect King Charles as the new sovereign. However, much like the process of altering British money and stamps, this will be a gradual change and could take a number of years. British coins and banknotes, which have the Queen's portrait on them, will be replaced with a portrait of the new monarch, King Charles. The process of replacing the portrait will, however, take a while, as I mentioned, because of the large number of banknotes currently in circulation, according to the coin expert. While the Queen succeeded her father King George in 1952, she didn't appear on the Bank of England note until 1960, according to the Bank of England. All other members of the royal family, however, do hold their own passports, the royal family website adds. Number 4. The royals are also able to skip out on jury duty. One royal perk is that members of the king's family do not have to take part in jury duty. If you get a jury summons in the post, you must respond within 7 days and confirm if you can attend. Usually it works by your name being chosen randomly from the electoral register. You'll be part of a jury of 12 people to decide the outcome of a criminal trial. Jury service usually lasts up to 10 working days. If the trial is likely to last longer than 10 days, jury staff will let you know. If the trial is shorter than 10 days, you may be asked to be a juror on other trials. You'll usually need to be at court from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday, but times can vary. So kind of like a 9-to-5 job, except you're not getting paid. In normal instances in the United Kingdom, evading jury duty results in a fine up to or around $1,000. However, for the king and members of his immediate family, jury duty is not required, The Guardian has reported. Number 3. Her Majesty was never required to have a driver's license. At the age of 18, Queen Elizabeth II trained as a driver and mechanic for the Women's Auxiliary Territorial Service during World War II. She insisted upon joining the army, when she trained as a truck driver as well. She also remains the only female member of the royal family to have served in the army. The Queen was never required to take an actual driving test, however, and was also able to drive without a number plate because all driver's licenses in the UK are issued in the Queen's name, according to the Daily Express. Following his accession to the throne, King Charles III no longer requires a driver's license now, and now he is the only person in the UK who can drive without one. It was also added that the entitlement does not extend to Camilla, as the Queen Consort still needs a license to drive. The lack of needing a driver's license is said to be a privilege greatly enjoyed by monarchs. Number 2. While regular grandparents have to go through the courts if they want custody of their grandchildren, the king has automatic legal custody of all his descendants and his minor grandchildren. The monarch has legal custody of their grandchildren, a royal historian told news.com.au in 2018. This means Charles technically has custody of Prince William and Kate Middleton's 3 children, and Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's children Archie and Lilibet. This 300-year-old rule was passed by a majority of 10 out of 12 judges in 1717, who decided the monarch's right of supervision extended to his grandchildren, and this right of right belongs to His Majesty, King of the Realm, even during their father's lifetime. This goes back to King George I, who ruled in the early 1700s, and the law has never been changed. He did it because he had very poor relationship with his son, the future King George II, so they had this law passed that meant the king was the guardian of his grandchildren. Though it's unlikely the king would ever take his grandchildren away from their parents, the law is still technically there. When Prince Harry and William were little, Prince Charles asked the Queen if both children could fly on a plane together to Scotland, to which the Queen said yes. Technically, they needed permission to travel. The Queen has the last word on parenting decisions like that. Or now the king, I guess. However, as Harry and Meghan have stepped down from the royal family, the rules about that law are a little iffy now. However, hopefully it won't ever come to the situation where the king wants to take full custody of Harry and Meghan's kids. Now coming in at number 1, the royals don't have to use their legal last names. The royals are not required to use their legal last names, even though they technically do have one. Before 1917, members of the British royal family had no surname. Kings and princes were historically known by the names of the countries over which they and their families ruled. Kings and queens therefore signed themselves by their first name only, a tradition in the United Kingdom. The names of dynasties tended to change when the line of succession was taken by a rival faction within the family. In 1917, there was a radical change when George V specifically adopted Windsor, not only as the name of the house or dynasty, but also as the surname of his family. The family name was changed as a result of anti-German feeling during the First World War, and the name Windsor was adopted after the castle of the same name. But now the male line descendants of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip bear the last name Mountbatten Windsor. But that is all. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.